Hi and welcome to part 2 of our references help videos. This one is we're talking about how to manually load existing references onto the Teamkinetic system. So many of you out there will obviously be very keen to start utilizing our new kind of digitized referencing system where it holds all the references against the volunteers kind of online within the system itself. But you've probably still got a number of references which are stored in some filing cabinet somewhere, paper-based references. And obviously to make it work effectively, we need to get those paper-based references added onto the Teamkinetic system. Now there's no way around that apart from doing it manually. So someone is going to have to type or enter the information from the paper-based reference form into the system. But once it's done, and obviously it'll make everyone's lives a lot easier. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a reference form which is completely identical to your paper-based reference form. So obviously only super admins can create reference forms. So if you haven't already done this, then you need to click on the super admin menu, go to settings, reference forms, then you would new reference form, click on that in the side menu, type in the name of it. My identical reference form. So you would be hoping to add the questions against this reference form exactly the same way as they appear on the paper-based reference form. The level, you might not record this, but I mentioned this in the last video. Basically, the level shows that the lower level reference forms usually ask less questions, more basic information. The higher levels ask more detailed information. So these are for your more sensitive roles. Once you've chose a level, put a description in. Okay, I do. And click on the add button. Then it brings up our questions. So we're going to literally go through the form one at a time and we'd enter in the relevant questions. So it's maybe relationship to volunteer. Okay, but that might be a drop down. If there was an option on the actual paper-based reference form, it might be something like friend, relative, or work colleague. Click on add. And we've got one question then. Obviously you'd have a number of questions. We'll just leave this at one question for now, just for the demonstration purposes. Now once we've got that in there, the next thing we need to do, go back to our normal admin menus. This is not about setting up a reference form now. We've already set it up. It's already on the system. We need to now start entering data for that reference form against the volunteers. So the next thing I would do is go down to references, click on create reference, type in the volunteer's name, Fred Blake, select my reference form, there it is there, and it comes up with the one question. You'd have the rest of the questions would be listed below here. So it's just a case of choosing the answer. So I'd look at the paper-based form, I'd say, okay, this reference form for Fred Blake is a relative, and I click on save and approve. And that's it, it's stored against the system. So now if I go down to find volunteers and I show you Fred Blake. Where are you, Fred? There you are. Click on Fred Blake's name. Tongue twister. And down here we have relationship to volunteer, relative. So you can see it's been added to the system. I hope that's useful for you. Obviously now if Fred goes to join any opportunities which require a level 1 reference form, then it won't ask them for a referee's details, because it will say, okay, I've already got one stored in the system. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop us an email. Your feedback is always welcome.